Welcome back to the TruGolf Academy. You've joined me, Jon Watts, today at Branston Golf and Country Club. Today's video is a must watch. I'm going to show you a simple exercise to reduce your early extension. Stay tuned to find out more. As mentioned, today's video is going to be about reducing your early extension. I'm going to show you a simple exercise that you could actually do at home to really improve your movement. So let's quickly get into what early extension is for any of those unclear on it. It's a very common fault that we see, and it is where golfers on the downswing are getting their body working into extension too early. So our body has to straighten our lead side into impact. We want it happening nearer the golf ball. So when early extension occurs, what we see on the downswing is the hips thrusting forwards towards the golf ball, and that means our hips, our pelvis is going this way towards the golf ball. Often there is a compensation with the player's head coming backwards, and we end up seeing more of a cramped position. Now that can cause a number of different issues. I was just teaching someone who was struggling with heel contact, shanks, and that was all down to early extension. The compensation for the backside going forwards was a head going up and back, and that was also causing some low strikes out of the golf club. So there could be a lot of shots you hit from there, but it's a very undesirable impact condition that we see far too often, is people early extending. As I said, to be clear, that is where we are losing posture too early on the downswing, where our body is almost being forced to straighten because our pelvis is moving towards the golf ball. When we see that, we often see that pressure shift out into the toes, which again I was getting with this particular person. So I'm going to show you an exercise just using a TheraBand. So a TheraBand, you can get these at different resistance. I've tied a knot in this, so this was just a long one here. You can get different resistance of bands. You can use sort of TheraTubing as well. You can get all sorts of things. Now I'm filming this in slightly a strange location, right on the edge of the tee box, because I want to actually use the marker that is actually telling us how long this particular hole is. So I'm out on our academy course here, and I'm just going to be using the side of this. Now it's going to look a little strange, but I'm going to be stepping into this TheraBand and looping that round the top of this, and I'll explain why. So let me get into position. I will take a club over with me, but it's going to be a little bit tough to actually make the movement from there. And now this is going to look very strange, but I'm going to loop the TheraBand round. Anything that you can keep into the ground, anything that is strong enough to keep into the ground here, and I'm going to step backwards to create some resistance. Now the tubing or the TheraBand is going to be just underneath my backside here, so just underneath my glutes. And I'm going to get into a golf posture. I may just do this with no golf club, as this is going to be very much in my way. But what we see all far too often with early extension is, again, our body moving towards the post on this occasion, towards where the golf ball would be. And when that happens, obviously we lose some of this resistance in the band. So the aim with this exercise is going to be making some golf swing movements and keeping that resistance, or even increasing it, so trying to stretch that band. We see a lot of coaches, and I'm not saying they're wrong, a lot of coaches down on the ground behind the player, and I've done it before, and trying to get them to feel the right hip movement where we're getting our lead leg extending into impact and our hips rotating, the desired impact position we want. But when we're helping the player do that, they're actually not really working quite as hard as we want them to. So the idea with this exercise is I've got to work really hard to resist against this band. This band wants to pull me forwards. I'm trying to actually resist against it while making a golf swing. So I feel my right hip turn behind me and move a little bit up, and I've talked about this before, so I will put a link in this video about that part, all in the hips. So I'm feeling this right hip, my trail hip, move up and back, and I've still kept that resistance on the band. At the start of the downswing, I call this centering the hips, so getting them back to about level. I still feel that pull on the band here, and then I'm winding into impact, where I'm actually starting to get my lead hip, my left hip for me, opening up and pulling against that band again. So there's no early extension. So I could put that into a movement. Obviously, I can't really do this first movement of the golf swing, but I can come all the way down to just about impact, really feeling like I've still got this pull on the band, and just doing some simple at-home drills, just making some mirror images, some little golf swings here where we're really feeling that pull on the band, that resistance, is going to help me to stop early extending where I want to go forwards towards the golf ball. So let me take my band off here. Looks like I'm taking off my skirt. And what I'm going to then try and do, having felt that with the band, is make some golf swing movements where I'm really trying to feel like I maintain my posture and there's no early extension movement towards the golf ball. So just doing some simple at-home drills, maybe something you can do on the driving range using the pillar perhaps between each bay, might work really well with some TheraBand or TheraTubing. Round the back of your legs here, so just underneath your backside. As I said, you are fighting to try and keep that. Now I feel that already, I can feel that on my legs. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a nice slow pace swing first of all, getting that feeling that I am maintaining my posture, I'm not early extending into the downswings. Let's just do this at slow pace, having done those drills. So really felt like I was sort of working hard as if I still have that tubing around me, and felt this hip move behind me and up, back to center, and then this left hip, this lead hip for me, start to clear. Again, it's not something we're going to be conscious of in the golf swing, but we've got to create some drills, some impact conditions that make it harder so we can really feel that. And I think using that TheraBand is one of the best I've ever seen. I know it's something TPI really liked to use and see the TheraBanding round there, and actually force us into having to work harder to maintain our posture. So it works really well. So TPI, the Titleist Performance Institute, some golf specific fitness, worth checking them out. They've got some great drills similar to this where it's working very hard on us trying to maintain posture. So I'm now going to go in and actually do this at fuller pace. So both felt nice and sweet, but really more importantly, trying to get that feeling that I am holding my posture better. I'm not early extending, I'm maintaining there, working my legs very, very hard, almost to keep my bum on that line. It's a great drill. I know it's not easy to set up. The driving range might be a good place, or at home. Yes, you do look a bit strange doing that, but I know it's going to really work you very hard to make sure you maintain that posture. Now, if this is something you struggle with, you'll know how difficult this is to work out. So this is a great exercise for you. Make sure you give it a go. Do post some comments and questions below. Do subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the content, and make sure you hit us up with a thumbs up as well. Thanks guys, we'll see you soon.